All right, if you just joined us now on YouTube, please drop a comment to show that you can hear me.
You can turn off your video. I've seen your face.
Let me know in the comment section that you can hear me, please, so that we start this class. We've wasted a lot of time already. Or we continue because we've started. All right, Tony.
You ready, group?
All right, guys. Thanks for being here. Can we continue the class, please? Just type a yes. I guess now I'm just the only I'm only gonna be the only one talking. And I'll be reading the comments if you have a question. And then I can bring any of you in to join me if you want to talk. Um, okay, yeah, we can continue. So I'm gonna share my screen. So I want to bring in the class rep. I want to bring in the class rep. Uh, ne Neka, what? Zainab Emmanuel at Neka. Please, if you are here, just drop I'm here so that I could bring you in to join me live. Okay, yeah, yeah, Zainab. Okay, so let me see if I can bring you in. Just give me a minute. I want to log the WhatsApp group. So I want to think that you can see my screen now, but I can't hear anyone. So let me add the class rep. Let me invite class rep so that I can hear you guys. All right. Please, if you are the class rep, send me a message on WhatsApp now. The three of you, send me a message on WhatsApp now. Sorry, guys. This is our first class together, and it's unfortunate that many of you have not used Microsoft Teams before. That's why we had to move to this part. Okay, I can see a message. Give me a minute. Let me send you the link. Please quickly request to be added. I'm still waiting, please, Zainab. Okay, while I wait for you guys, please, I'm going to start. So please, this material, I should send it to you guys. There are tons of links I've made in the past for students to join this class. Some of the materials, these are some of the links you could watch the videos. But in terms of Microsoft Excel, by way of introduction, there are so many businesses in today's world that make use of a software like Microsoft Excel. And there are certain tools that are in Microsoft Excel that can help you in your business analysis. And we're going to be treating some of those tools. There is no how you go into tech or you are new into the area of technology that you definitely have challenges if you started with a major challenges if you started with Microsoft Excel. Microsoft Excel gives you a better ground for you to start appreciating certain tools, whether you want to go further to learn Power BI or Tableau or SQL Server or Python or R or a couple of other Matplotlib and a couple of other programming languages. So my job here is to make sure that I take you guys through the things that you can do with Microsoft Excel, which one of them, as you can see from the screen, is to prepare magnificent charts, visual aiding conditional formatting. I'm not going to be explaining all of these in details. I'm just going to show you guys how to navigate it on Microsoft Excel. And the third thing that you can do in Microsoft Excel is how to identify trends. And the fourth thing is you can bring anything into Microsoft Excel. We're going to be looking at this. So these are some of the functions that we'll be looking at from next week. We're going to be looking at some of these functions, and we're going to be showing you how some of them look like. So we have all of these: and function, round function, proper function, noun function, trim function, unit conversion, time function. So we're going to be looking at all of these. Okay, let me go back and see if the class rep have requested for to join. Okay, yeah, I can see them now. Abiodun, Neka, and Zainab. Right. Are you guys here? You can hear me now, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So whatever challenge anyone is having on the Zoom, because I'm not going to be here, please let me know, okay? So
It's
that
okay, sir.
I can so that we can talk about, yeah. So should I continue the class?
Yeah, you
Yes.
can.
Somebody saying they can't hear anything. Please use your
Yeah, the
mic if you
volume is
can't hear
okay.
anything. If you are using a phone, you don't. Okay, okay. If you are using a phone, you can put it on landscape mode. Use a laptop. I think um that's what I said, right? Use your laptop. If you don't have a laptop, use your phone or your headphone or things like that. So please open your Microsoft Excel, because we've been doing a lot of talking and some of you are having challenges with this thing. So open to your Microsoft Excel. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Hello, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
You guys are the ones here now. Three of you. I need responses, so that I know
Yes,
See
that
your
sir. We
others
screen.
can
can
We can
see
see
your.
the
see your
screen.
screen.
Yes, sir. We can see your screen clearly.
Okay. Oh, nice, nice. So please, you're welcome to the Health Techies Microsoft Excel, blah blah blah. That's a welcome page. Please, you are not allowed to share this material. But let's start. The first thing that we have here is what are rows and what are columns. If there is any of you that is new to Microsoft Excel, when we're on Microsoft Teams, some of you took up your hands and we actually saw everything that we saw that some of you are new to Microsoft Excel. So I'm going to take you guys through the interface you have here. What are rows and columns? So I'm going to open a new page and we're going to be looking at rows and columns. You can see we have A, we have B, we have C, we have D, and when it gets to Z, let me take this to the end now. When it gets to Z, you can see we have Z, we have AA, AB, AC, AD, AE, AF, and so on. When it gets to AZ, you will now see BA, BB, BC, BC, and BD, BF, and so on and so forth. So all of these, all the alphabets you see, those are called rows in Microsoft. Sorry, those are called columns in Microsoft Excel, and you are going to see numbers. These numbers, each of them is what is called what? Rows. So I'm going to write them down. The alphabet, the alphabets are columns in Microsoft Excel, and then the numbers are rows in Microsoft Excel. Going to bolden that. so that you can see them. This is not how to spell alphabets. Okay. So the alphabets are columns. All these alphabets you see, all of them are columns in Microsoft Excel, and the numbers are rows in Microsoft Excel. Emmanuel is here. Let me add him. Emmanuel, can you hear me? Emmanuel, are you here? So if you are having issues seeing the screen, you can actually zoom in from your end, please. So the columns here are
All right,
the
I'm here, sir. Sorry, sir, I'm here.
The alphabets, welcome Emmanuel. The alphabets are columns in Microsoft Excel, and the numbers are rows in Microsoft Excel. So that has been explained. So for you, if you take your cursor down here, you can click on each of these rows, and it doesn't matter where the rows, or sorry, where the column ends. You have succeeded in highlighting. I can scroll down up to, if I press Control End, it's going to take me to the end of my screen. And then for the rows, if you see your cursor, you can click on it and it takes you from number 1, row column A, number 1, up till the last column and the last number there. Now, having said that, each of these rows and columns, what unites the two of them is what is called a cell. It's what is called a cell. Can you guys see my screen clearly? Let me
Yes,
expand
sir.
it.
Yes, 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 we can see your screen.
Now, thank you. If you can see my screen and you can see this cursor, you are going to see what is written here is called C5. If you
Yes.
see C5, that place you see C5, if you look at it, it means that where my cell is, where I have clicked here, is on column C, row 5. That is what it means. If I come here and I want to put my cursor here, it appears in column F, row 5. So if I choose to write something like Emmanuel, okay, let me remove it. I take it here. If I choose to write Emmanuel, all right. So can you tell me what, without me showing you, what cell number is Emmanuel located?
That's G6.
G6. Yeah.
No,
G6, sir.
it's not
G6, cell
G6. Look
number
at it
6.
well. This is number 6.
Yeah.
Is a cell
So
between G and H.
it
Okay, number
cannot be
5,
G.
G5, G5.
G5, correct. G5, correct.
Oh, G5. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So let's try it again. I'm going to write NECA, then I click outside. If you are asked what cell is NECA, what cell number is NECA?
That's a F68. F68.
F68, correct.
F68.
This
Yeah.
is meaning column F, row
68.
68. I hope that is clear now.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Good. All right, so let's go back to our start page. So now I'm going back to the first thing that you can do in Microsoft Excel from our presentation here is that we can prepare magnificent charts with it. This is it. Things you can do with Excel. The first on the list is you can prepare magnificent charts with Microsoft Excel. So I'm going to teach you guys how to prepare a magnificent chart, a basic magnificent chart using Microsoft Excel. So I'm going to go to sheet number 6. By the way, for those of you that think you will remain in this class forever, just know that if I tell you to do something, please do it. I am going to create a new group. I'm going to create a new group where I'm going to add only those that have submitted the assessment. And it is only those people that I'll be having time to respond to their questions. I cannot be answering questions when you don't have time to do your assessments. I hope I'm clear.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I am going to make after this class, the class rep, you guys remind me. I need to make some of you anyway. Let's continue with the class
Okay, sir.
for now. So the next thing we want to do is we want to create magnificent charts. We want to create a magnificent chart in Excel. This is all basic Excel. Those of you that are um, you are not so new in Excel, then this shouldn't be a problem. So now the chart I want to create is I want to put names, which is in column G1. Is it column G12? Names. This is where you can edit anything that you write on Excel.
Okay.
If you want to edit anything that you have written on Microsoft Excel, go to where it is called the function box or the formula bar. So if I go there and put S, if I come here, you can see my S have been edited. I can as well click the next cell here and go back there because I've already clicked here. So the next thing I want to put is favorite food. Then the next thing I want to do, I'm going to click on here and go there and I'm going to put on amount. And then the next one, I want to put country. Can you guys see what I just did now?
Yes, sir.
Good. So can you tell me what you have noticed? I wrote favorite food, but you can only see favorite. Why is that so?
Because it has passed the limit. Like
Because the cell, you've not expanded the
Yeah.
cells.
The
You've not
cell is
expanded the cell.
Exactly. Exactly. So there are a couple of ways to expand these cells in Microsoft Excel. I'm going to teach you that quickly for those of you that are quite new to Excel. The first way to expand this cell is to just do what? Drag it. Okay? Just drag it until you have favorite food. You can now see we have seen favorite food. That is the first way. The second way, I just click Ctrl Z to undo. The second way is to just come here and double click and it will open. Are we still together?
yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Please. Okay. Then I'm going to undo. Now the third way is what is called the merge or wrap text function. For you to see the wrap text function, go to your home menu, look for this icon. Have you seen it? It's called a wrap text icon. Look for this icon, and then when you click on it, you are going to see that favorite food will now be in one column instead of going into the next column.
Dragon.
Can you see that?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Good.
Yes,
So
sir.
that is the second way, or those are the three ways. Let me take it again. The first way is what? You drag. The second way is what? You double click. The third way is what? You go to home menu, go to your wrap text, and then click on it, and that's it. But for this particular chart, I don't want to wrap text. I want it to be on the same line. So now that we have this, we want to put the names of all of you here. I mean, the ones that can hear me. So we have Nena, right? Or Neka. Neka. So what's your second name? Neka what? Okay, she is not. You have to be fast. Neka. So let me give you the second name. Neka Chinubu. Who else is there? Emmanuel. Emmanuel, what's your
Yes.
second name?
Manuel Israel.
Emmanuel Israel. The third person, what's your name?
Zainab
Abiodun.
Zainab what?
Ayodudu.
Ayojuju. I can't spell it. So let's just give you.
AYO.
Abiodun.
Who is the last person? Is there any other person there?
Abiodun.
Abiodun. Can you spell it? A-B-O. Is that the one?
Abiodun. Yeah. Adetayo.
Abiodun what?
Adetayo.
Adetayo. Okay, Adetayo. And I need one person from the group. Let me go back so that it will not be as if I've forgotten them. If you want your name, oh yeah, oh yeah. You want your name to be here. Write it. Can they hear me? Those of you listening, can you guys hear me? Please, yes, just type yes. Let me know you can follow me, please.
We can no longer
Sandra
see the screen.
Dangote,
Okay.
can you imagine? This lady is very ambitious. Sandra Dangote. Have you been eyeing Dangote's son?
Hmm.
Okay, okay. I see Chisom, Gerald, Blessing Augustine. Okay, good. So let's use your names. Um, so we have Sandra Dangote, and then we have Blessing. What's the second name? Blessing
Gerald.
Atiku. All right. So as you can notice from the screen, what do you notice? Those of you, Neka, Emmanuel, Zainab, those of you that can hear me, what do you notice under names column? What do you notice?
So we noticed
Beyond
that
the
the names exceeded the normal cells and column, the normal column and a row to the next column and
So
row.
what do you think we can do?
So what we can do is we can expand the cells and the column and the row simultaneously, and the way we can do it is by either we drag it forward, or we double click on each of the cells, or we just go back to the tabs and click the text wrap to wrap it.
All right. So let's take the easiest, which is double click. Okay. Thank you. I'm glad some of you are following. Now, Neka, what's your favorite food? This is real-time data. For those of you that after this class you want to start applying for data entry roles, I'm going to show you guys that. Please stay till the end so that I can show you how you can locate some of these roles online. Are we together?
yes, sir.
Yeah, together, sir.
Okay. Do you think I should open the group in case someone wants to ask a question?
You mean the WhatsApp group?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Let me share.
Open and con-
Give me a minute. All right. Um, some people I don't know. All right, Neka, what's your favorite food? Let's continue. Quickly, Mandua, Zainab, you guys should come on.
Okay, mine
Favorite
should be
food.
Rice and chicken is my favorite food.
Okay, Neka, you say what? This one is rice and lizard.
Zainab should be plantain.
Uh,
Zainab,
Neka,
Zainab, Zainab. Zainab should be plantain.
plantain.
Yeah.
Okay, Abiodun.
Pounded yam.
Correct. Let me pity Emmanuel because he said chicken. Before you start dreaming of lizard now. Neka, Neka doesn't have favorite food. Sandra, let me check her. Sandra, what's your favorite food? The lady in the group. Sandra, where is she? Let me check. So many comments. Okay, Fufu and Afang, correct. And then the Fufu and Afang, okay. Fufu and Afang. Fufu and Afang. Then Blessing, what's your favorite food? Is there no Blessing anymore here? Fisherman soup. Okay. Let me just put fisherman soup. All right. So this amount, I could just put anything. For instance, bread and water, 55. Rice and chicken, let's say 800. Plantain, 1,000. Pounded yam, 550. Fufu and afang, 1,005, 1,500. Fisherman soup, 600. Then Neka Tinubu, definitely this is Nigeria. Israel, which country is your dream country? Russia.
USA, sir.
Zainab, Cotonou, Abiodun,
Romania.
UK, Sandra Dangote, Kenya, Blessing, Atiku, Iraq. Okay, so this is not your real country, or in case you want to put me in your prayers, eh? Now, there are a couple of things I want to do to this data set. The first thing I want to do is to make it look more presentable. And how can I make it look more presentable? I can highlight all of this, okay? And then I click Control T. When I click Control T, it's going to a dialog box. This is called a dialog box. The dialog box is going to come out and it's going to ask me if my table has headers. So of course, my table has headers. So I'm going to leave this ticked. If my table does not have headers, I'm going to remove it. So I'm going to remove it now so that you see why we should leave my table has headers, why we should tick it. So I'm going to click on OK. So what do you notice now? What do you notice? That we have headers, and what was our header? Names, favorite food, amount, and country. Those
Yes.
were our headers. But because we told that dialog box that we don't have headers, the dialog box actually inserted new headers for us automatically by putting column 1, column 2,
Column
column
2.
3, and column 4. But this is not what we want, so we are going to click on undo. Okay, you see that we click on or undo, or we come
Control
here
V.
and then go to table and then do convert to range. And it's asking, do you want to convert to normal range? You say yes.
Yes.
And with that, everything is gone except, of course, the first column, which we are going to delete. So I'm going to just undo everything and start again. Please, if you have questions, class rep, you are not just here to look at the group if there are questions. The WhatsApp group and the WhatsApp group and this um, YouTube. So, but this is the simplest way I want to teach you guys for now. I am going to highlight everything. Okay. I'm going to make sure that if you go here, make sure that it is bottom aligned. Make sure it is what? Bottom aligned. If everything is bottom aligned, you leave it. If you go to the top aligned, it means that anytime that you are typing, any single word or data that you insert into this table to be is going to appear at the top, and you may have issues with it, assuming you want to make calculations. So always make sure that it's bottom aligned. Center align or middle align means that you have all of your data in the middle. And sometimes, if you are not careful, you are going to have issues with your data cleaning. We are going to be treating data cleaning as we proceed. So leave it for bottom align. Having done that, I just simply want to highlight this column because don't forget what we are treating. We want to create a magnificent chart in Excel. That is just what we want to do. And for us to create magnificent chart in Excel, we must work with our data set, this particular data set. So now okay, before I give the assignment, let me just do it so you guys will see. You can highlight just the table names, which is name, favorite food, amount, and country. Go to where you have this icon. It's called the fill color icon. You can open it, choose any color you want. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Choose any color you want and then click on that color. When you click on that color, you go, make sure you click on bold, and if you click outside, you can see we have names, favorite food, amount, and country. They're all colored now. But our title, they are still bold and in black. And I want to change that bold in black to another color. For you to change that, go to where you have your font color, which is the icon after the fill color. Open it and then search for any color of your choice. Okay, I didn't highlight everything. Need to highlight before anything works. Go back there, search for any color, and I want to click on yellow. So it looks better now. Now, for us to create a magnificent chart in Microsoft Excel, you have to, if I click outside and press on my laptop, Control A, What do you notice? What do you see from the screen?
The color change.
No,
Except
The
the
color
boxes,
change
except for
to blue.
everything is being aligned.
no,
Okay, like you can't type in the cells.
no.
Okay.
I'm going to a WhatsApp group. I need to see conversations. What do you
We are on
guys
the
notice?
WhatsApp.
This is how I get to know some of you. When I ask questions, I need responses. I need people to be interactive. I'm checking the WhatsApp group now. I'm checking the WhatsApp group now, please. What do you notice? Let me click outside again. I click outside. This time around, I want to press on my laptop Control Z. Sorry, Control A. What do you notice, please?
I noticed that everything, in fact, the whole Excel sheet is being highlighted.
Okay, yes, good. Major farm said the whole space is highlighted. That's in group three. Let me check. Um, okay, mom sum selected all rows and columns. Okay, captured every cell. Grocery. Um, good, good, good. Okay, you just highlight. No, everything was highlight. Okay, nice. Cheating was so good. Control A, highlight all. Good, good, good. Okay, nice, nice. Group two, are you guys here? Okay, the whole sheet is highlighted. Nice. Okay, okay, okay. Perfect, perfect. So that is where we'll be having. That is where it's easier. Now, that is what happens when you press outside what you are doing and press Control A. It highlights everything from the beginning of. Let me do it again. You can see it highlights everything from where I type we want to create magnificent charts in Excel. It highlights every single thing on your sheet. Nothing is left. But when I take my cursor and put it inside a value, inside a table I just created, and then click on Control A, what do you notice now? Come on, let me see. Let me check the group now. What do you notice?
You highlight the inside of what you created.
Okay, okay. Let
The
me check
domain
the
of
group.
the domain of where you are working on is actually highlighted.
Olorufumi, all the lines disappeared. What do you mean? Group what? Only the table. Momsen, good. Momsen, yeah. Group two, the screen freeze. No, you highlighted all cells. Only table is highlighted. Good. Baby. Biko, who be baby? Oh, you people should be using your real name, oh, so that I'll not put myself in trouble. Be calling you baby. I Olive. Good. Table is highlighted. Henry, Ada will be good. Henry Bears. Yeah, yeah. You
Just
highlighted
the
the cells. Good. Okay, good, good. It's like this group three. You people are not alive, oh. Una don't. What's going on? What's going on in group three? Okay, so let's continue. Now that we have highlighted only the table, that is how it works. Because one of my students was having issues with highlighting tables, and she was really struggling with it. Until when I asked her to share her screen, she now showed me what she did. She was now controlling Control A for everything and effected changes in all instead of just a data set. Okay. All right. Nice. So now the next thing I want to do now is I want to go to my insert menu. In 30 minutes or in 45 minutes, we'll be done with this class. I just need to um I love teaching. I could be here teaching and class prep. You guys should know when everyone is tired. Group three, if you're in group three, please share the group link or YouTube link again for those that just joined. Thank you. Go to your insert menu. When you click on insert menu, you are going to see table. Okay, you are going to see table. Please, if you see table, leave it alone. Eh? Leave it alone. Now, when you see table, leave it alone. That's not what I want you to do. What I want you to do is go to each any of these charts. Open any of these charts, and then there's a drop down. Click on it. Don't click on anything. Just go to all chart types. Click on all chart types. Then you are going to see this dialog box. Can you guys see it?
Yes, sir.
We can see it, but it seems we have different charts under this insert column with different Excel year, I think something like that.
Yes. So depending on the year you are using, I think mine is 2010, not so recent. But some of you, can you hear me?
I
Yes,
can hear
sir.
you very well. I'm using 2016.
Yeah. So it's quite different. All you need to do is go to a place where you can open any of the charts, and it's going to show you all of the templates or all of the chart types. So I'm going to
Okay.
choose. I want us to play around this. Let's. I want to. Okay, let's start with the column chart. I want to open the first one and then click on OK. Nothing is here. The only thing that it showed is blessing article fisherman soup 600 naira. That is the only thing it showed. I can choose to drag this down so that you can see the table. Sorry. So that you can see the table. Let me minimize this, drag this down. So for those of you that are already familiar with Microsoft Excel, why do you think after highlighting all the cells, only blessing cell came up?
I guess that was the last
Anybody?
person. That's
That
the
was the
last
last
person.
one.
Okay, the last name. Okay, that is a smart
Yeah.
response, but it's not a valid response. So does it mean if I take Neka Tinubu, if I take
No,
Neka Tinubu,
no, because when
the
you were
last?
explaining the other time, you said we should choose the table that started from the underneath.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
all right. So now let me tell you guys what is going to happen. Sometimes we highlighted all of this. Sometimes in Microsoft Excel, Excel is a data analysis tool. As long as I'm concerned, I'm a data analyst. Excel is a data analysis tool. If you want Microsoft Excel to give you the best kind of visual, please try as much as you can to give Excel the best type of data. Did you hear me?
Yes, sir.
If you want the best type of visual, give Excel the best type of data. So this data we just presented was not the best that we could give,
Yeah.
especially in my version of Excel, because Excel does not understand exactly how do you want me to visualize all of these things that you have highlighted. How do you want me
Yeah.
to visualize all of these things you have highlighted? Excel will not tell you that. It will only show you the type of chart that he just showed us a few minutes ago. So what we must do at every point in time is to make sure we compartmentalize our data for it to make sense. And I'm going to show you what that means. But before we proceed to compartmentalization, remember we choose insert, and under insert, we choose column. So can we say that in this third, instead of choosing column, if we choose a line graph, will it work? So let's click on line graph and click on OK. Will it work? Absolutely no, it did not work. So we're going to delete it. We're going to go back to insert. We're going to choose another column or another chart, not a line chart. We want to take a pie chart. We want to click on pie chart and then click on OK. Will it
Okay.
work? Absolutely no, it didn't work. So I can go on and on
And
choosing
on
all
and
of the
on.
data sets, and probably none of them, or perhaps only one is going to work. So what am I going to do? I am now going to compartmentalize my data in such a way that it it shows only the appropriate data sets we have. So now I want you guys to look at this data as a future data analyst to be that is going to be an expert or a professional using Microsoft Excel. What two columns? What two columns? Now look at this. We have what is called key columns or primary columns, primary columns, and then we have secondary columns. Please, somebody should remind me. I want to open my Power BI. It's a software we use in data analysis towards the end of this class. One of you, class rep, remind me. I'm going to open my Power BI software and I want to show you guys a job I just did for for a company in the UK. Of course, they paid me. And then I want to show you guys how we create charts in another platform different from Excel. Are you hearing me?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, we heard you.
Okay. So this is the primary columns and we have secondary columns. I want to define primary columns and I want to define secondary columns. But before that definition, I want you guys to tell me, look at the columns. We have column G, column H, column I, and column J. Look
Okay.
at this column. Which column do you think is called the primary column? And which are the secondary columns?
Well,
Let me check the WhatsApp group. Let me
Column
check the
G.
okay.
WhatsApp group, please.
Column G.
WhatsApp group. My first group I used to check now is group 3 because these people now
I think it's column I.
WhatsApp group, column I is the primary column. Okay. Oh yeah, group 1. What is the primary column? Momsum said primary column is G. Primary columns are the headings. No, grocery shopping. This grocery person, can you change your name? I don't know. Opulentia, I think the primary key is I. No, column G, column G. Okay. Let me check another group. Um, Group 2. Let's see what you have. Column G and H is primary column. Okay. Column G and H is primary column. Okay. That's from Jean Lily. Column G is primary, the rest is Marianne. Okay. Let's look at group 1. Group 1. Okay. Column G. Okay. Nice, nice, nice. All right. Jersey, Versatile, Peace, column G. A to Z are primary columns, while A, B, A, Z are secondary. Goshen Light. That's a very smart answer, but if I follow you, I'll be very confused.
Yeah, column G.
So please, the primary column is column G. Why is it called the primary column? It is called a primary column because without that column, the data set will not be complete. Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
Without that column, the data set cannot be complete. But if you look at this particular data set we have here, if you remove names, favorite food will become your primary key. True or false?
True, sir.
True.
True. Now, it will become your primary key, but you and I know that water and bread cannot belong to a country.
Sure.
True or false?
Yes, sir.
Good.
True.
So before you decide what is the primary key, look at the rest of the columns and their relationship with a particular column. So let me write something else. This thing I'm saying is very, very important. In fact, let me even open
Okay,
my
sir.
Power BI. Let me open my Power BI now, so that you guys will see. Normally, if I open this, my systems gets. Let me test you guys. So we have um, names, we have sales, we have postcode, we have amount. Okay, can you guys see this? We have
Yes,
names,
sir.
we have sales, we have
Post.
postcode, and then we have amount.
Yes, sir.
Let me put this bold so that you see it. All right, can someone tell me which of this column from G to J? Let me check the charts. Let me start from group one. Which of this column from J to J, G to J, which of them is a primary key? You can write the name of the primary key. Which of them is a primary key? Group one, I'm not seeing
G.
any response.
G.
Okay, let me go to group two.
Column G.
Column G. Okay, that's wrong. Column G is the
Okay, sir.
primary. And that will be no. Let me check group three. Column I, no. From major pharmacy. Group three. We check group
Column
one
J.
again. Name is primary key. Desi Foods. Column G is primary. Names and sales is the primary. Oriaku. Okay. Oriaku. That's nice. Primary is G and H. Postcode Chinyere. Mr. Samuel. Still G. Bethel G and H. No. Okay. The answer is column. And then this one, primary column, is what? Is G. Why? Why I need someone who is smart? Why is it H and not G?
Why is it what?
Let me check the group. Why is it
Please come
H
again,
and
sir.
not G? Why is it
Why?
H like Henry? Why is a primary column H and not G for this second one? Why is it H and not G?
Primary column is G because without the name, it can't be sorted. It doesn't make sense without the names. Hello, sir. Hello. Hello.
I think he's having a problem.
Okay.
This consumes data. Oh God.
Hello, can you guys hear me? Emmanuel,
I can hear you. I can hear you. What happened?
please, I want to ask a question about that range. The one that I did the first time that brought out those column one, column two, column three, column four. I don't know if you understand it.
Yes.
Okay. Maybe
What
that would
happened?
be the
What's the
question.
question?
I did not get it because I was just actually replying to someone on WhatsApp.
Okay, so you click on Control T. Control T brings up those things. So when you click on Control T, you see a drop down box where, of course, before you click on the Control T, you must have highlighted your cells, like where your data are found.
Okay.
And then when you click on it, you see the drop down box where you click on the last column when it was trying to explain something about the last column or something.
Okay.
And then when you click on it, all those things will appear. You can work with your data. It is from that
Once you
place now that you can even start your data cleaning.
okay, once you are light, you click on Control T.
Yes. And then you see a drop down box.
Okay, draw down box.
Have you seen it? A box will just come up now where you found some details will be written or something.
All right, no problem. I think after the class, maybe I'll just try it.
All right.
All right, thank you very much.
All right.
Let me just share screen for this one.
Hello. What happened, please?
All right, guys, can you hear me, please? I'm back.
I can't tell. I've sent him a message. He has not replied. I've sent
Okay.
you a private message.
Maybe the network though.
Can you
You
hear
Okay.
know, he
me?
was talking about he was talking about opening Power BI, and whenever he does, something happens to his
Yeah.
system or something. So I think it's exactly what happened.
Okay, yeah. So sorry about that. It's okay.
All right, guys, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Welcome, sir.
Yeah. I should have followed my instincts. Power BI doesn't work with YouTube somehow.
Okay.
Yeah, because I had to wait for it to finish loading before closing it so that I can come back online.
It's all right, sir.
All right, so let's continue. Who is the person that is trying to join this group? Is it Neka again?
Yes.
All right. Um, for
Can
those
you
of
hear
you
me
in
now?
the yes, yes, I can hear you. Those of you in the WhatsApp, it's funny. Do you know that I paid over $1,000 to learn something when I was in Washington D.C. and then people are complaining that YouTube is eating a lot of data. So I should send data to their bank account to attend a free class.
Are you serious?
I need to know for those people complaining, I should come to your house and drop data for you for a class you paid nothing to attend except your internet. For a class I paid over $1,000 to learn, and my time is being eaten up. Do you know how much money I'm losing?
So, sir.
They can't even imagine how important this thing is. Even I'm a nurse. Ordinarily, I don't really think I should need it, but when I traveled, I needed it so much. They can't imagine how important it is.
Somebody's complaining of data. Oh my God.
So if you see someone teaching you all this for free, I don't know why you should be asking him for data.
So let's just go ahead. We are not supposed to be even be thinking about that one because certainly people will
I don't
complain.
mind
Let's
them.
just leave them.
All right, so let's continue. Please, I asked
Yeah,
questions and I checked in the group. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I checked in the group some really, really brilliant responses from some of you. Like Bethel, I think that is in group 3. Bethel said that because if there was no sales, other entries wouldn't be necessary or needed. I think that is in group 2. Brilliant response. Because, if I put my name here, David, and I put the sales I was able to make here, and then I put the postcode to be 0524, then I put the amount to be 500, let's say total amount as different from sales. Do you know that this company can do without my name? This company is basically going to be concentrating on just sales
Chanda.
and the transaction that took place in a particular region. Sometimes you may not
Yes.
even have names. Sometimes what you are going to have in some of these companies is what?
The
Um,
sales.
agent agent ID. They don't even want to know who you are.
That's true.
The agent ID could be 55321. That's why if you go to some of these powerful e-commerce companies, you see their names and then you see their ID. Because if you are not performing
Yes, sir.
properly, if you are not performing properly, and then to they send you to a particular um to a maybe the company wants to let go of some people, and then they check records, they will be
Someone
like, you know
asked
what?
a question in the group.
Okay, what's the question?
The question is, how do you drag to expand the box?
How do I what?
Drag to expand the box.
Drag to expand. It's simple.
Like
Just
what
go
you
to where
taught
you
us
have.
earlier.
How
Yeah,
do you
just
book?
look at this. Go. Here is it. This is how you expand. Can you see that? Go to where you have the alphabets, all these alphabets. There are lines dividing each of them. You can choose to do this.
Hello, can you
Drag.
hear me?
That's how
Hopefully
I
it
can hear
doesn't
you.
see you.
Mine should be the range, the one that you did the other time that brought out column. A lot of people are asking about it on WhatsApp, but I cannot tell them anything because I'm not
The
following
one
them.
I
I have
did, I brought out what column.
yeah, that brought out column one, column two, column three, column four with that blue color, the sky blue and color. I guess someone said you have to highlight then press click on Control T, something like that.
Yeah. Control
Uh,
A, Control T,
if you
and
can
then
do
leave
that,
it checked. But you know what? Tell them,
maybe
don't worry. We are going to
maybe
treat tables. It's a different topic on its own. We are going
all
to
right.
treat tables
Table,
distinctly.
yeah.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we are going
Hello,
to
sir.
treat tables. Yeah.
So someone asked, what's the essence of the control T that we highlighted the table before clicking, where we were talking about trying to get the drawdown box that showed where we click on bottom column or something. Someone is asking, what's the essence of the control T?
Okay. Control T is a short form trying to tell Excel that you want to create a table for a particular data set. But like I said, you guys should not worry. There is a big topic on creating tables and manipulating data with tables. And we're going to be teaching you guys that.
All right, sir.
So now, with this one, we have agent ID, sales, postcode, and amount. I want to tell you that this company is not interested in your name. In fact, if people want to sack people, they will not use your name in most of these major companies. They'll be like maybe Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg will be like, this person have not been performing well. We will be losing sales from postcode 0254 and agent ID 5534 is not performing properly. They don't want to know your name. You don't even mention it as a data analyst or a data analyst using Microsoft Excel. What you are going to do most of the time is you work with the data that have been given. I can remove agent ID because it's not important. Agent ID, postcode, and amount. These are the secondary keys. But you see sales. This is what every serious company is interested in. This amount could be, let's say, cost price, or let me say, I want to put cost, cost price. Let's say that's what I want to do. Sales is very important, and that is the primary key. Okay, now let's go back to names, favorite food, amount, and country. We have all agreed that names is our primary key. Now you have to look at favorite food, amount, and country and ask yourself, what other column can I use to add with my primary column to help me to create a chart? That is the first and the most important question that you must ask yourself if you're having issues creating a chart in Microsoft Excel. So I'm going to ask you guys now on this call, which column would you want us to create a chart with first? And make sure that the column aligns with primary column, secondary column.
I will go for country.
All right. So we have names. We want to highlight names. And then we want to highlight country. And then we go to insert, we go to columns. Let's see if it will work. We click on it. It didn't work. So if I highlight names and favorite food together, that way, I go to insert, I go to column, I go to first one. It did not work. Then I have favorite food and amount. Watch what is going to happen. I go to insert, I go to column, and I click on it. Do you see what happened now?
Yeah, this
Yes.
one goes together.
Good. Now, can somebody tell me why the one we did before did not work? I'm going to check the chart now. Can someone tell me why the charts we've been trying to create before did not work until we got to this point? Each of our classes at least 3 hours. Please, if you are in Nigeria, that is like from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. every Saturday and Sunday. I have another class I'm going to be teaching Power BI this evening to students. Okay, so I'm checking. Hakem said because there was no data in those cells. Okay, there was actually data in the cells, but we have to be specific. What type of data are we talking about? The presence of qualitative data. Perfect. That's okay. It didn't work because they are just text. Excel work with numbers. All right. Excel work with numbers. Okay. It didn't work because there was no data. They were just words, no number on it. Thank you. Names and amounts. Good. So group three, let me see them. Um, the chart didn't work because there is number of figures, the type of variables involved in Enyeno Okban. I see some people just join in group three. Those of you that are in group three, please share the link again to them, the class link. Let's check group two because there were no numerical data in the other. Joy girl. All right, Joy girl, nice. Because the columns are far apart. Not really. Now, if you must know, in in creating a chart in Microsoft Excel, have it in mind that there is something called x-axis and there's something called y-axis. And we also have what is called secondary axis. You are going to know about this. We also have what is called trend axis. We are going to treat all of this as we proceed. So this is going, your x-axis is going to be the one. Who can tell me? Let me not presume you guys are not. So who can tell me what is the x-axis? What is the x-axis? What is the x-axis?
The x-axis can be the names now.
Okay. Where is it located? How do you locate the x-axis?
Sorry, the y-axis is the vertical line, while the x-axis is the horizontal line. So the x-axis can be, the y-axis can be the names, and maybe the x-axis can be other variable.
Okay, let me do this so that you explain to me what you mean. So tell me, we have amount, we have water and bread, rice and chicken, plantain, pounded yam, fufu, and afang, fisherman soup. And then we have this and this. Which of them is the x-axis and which is the y-axis?
The
The
numbers
y-axis
are the
is the
y-axis,
amount.
while
Amount is the
while
y-axis.
the
These
text
are
are
the
the text.
x-axis.
That's the water, the bread are the x-axis.
Good. So the proper words or the proper description is that the x-axis is the horizontal axis and the y-axis is the vertical
The
axis.
vertical axis.
So on major accounts, you can either have numbers represented in the x-axis and letters represented in the y-axis or vice versa. But it is very rare for Microsoft Excel to show you values that are both text inclined. So that is why you can have favorite food and amount but you cannot have favorite food and country. You can have names and amounts. You can have favorite food and amount. You can have country and amount. So in major cases, while you have the primary key or the primary column to be the names, the primary key, meaning the primary element that would determine how you react or relate with other elements, will be the amount element, or better put, the key or the column that helps in our analysis is going to be the I column. Without the I column, we are not going to be able to analyze this data, because what are we doing with NECA and this, our favorite food and our country? What exactly are we looking for? But when you have a column like the amount column inserted in a data set like this, you must make sure that you surround your analysis around that column. It doesn't mean that that is a primary column. It means that that is the primary column of your analysis, but not the primary column of your data set. I repeat, the primary column of your analysis is the amount column, but the primary column of your data set is the names column. If you come here, the primary key of this particular one, your primary key of your analysis is what? From my explanation here, the primary key or column of your analysis is going to be what?
The cells.
The sales column. But your primary key in your data set is going to be what?
Agent ID.
Agent ID. Do you understand? Do you understand how this works now?
Yes, sir.
Please, so let me check the YouTube. Please, if you understand, type it. Let me know, because Gloria, you say you don't understand. Gloria, type your question. What don't you understand? Type your question. What don't you understand? Please, when you say I am lost, I bind and cast you. You cannot be lost in my class. And don't say you don't understand. I cancel and destroy those type of comments. I don't understand. I am lost. I don't know what is going on. Those are comments from the evil one. You are lost. You can never be lost. If you want to ask a question, be very specific. You are talking to a data analyst. Be very specific. Ask me, how did I do this? Adesola, I am still saying you cannot say you don't understand. If I buy you a car now and I give you a key to the car, will you say you don't understand, or you will jump and shout and even say thank you? You will not even know whether the key I'm giving you is for you to go and give your brother. You think I'm giving it to you. I don't understand. I didn't understand. Please explain again. Please repeat the last word. What other comments am I seeing? I am lost. God help me. Oh. All these ones, they are comments from, they are comments from hell. Happiness, Thomas. Be very specific. I'm teaching you guys how to be specific in your questions to help you to be very tidy when you are asking questions. All right, in front of now, this is a question. Please, those of you in the WhatsApp group, drop your questions here. Let's look at them before I proceed. What is the primary column for analysis in the second data set? The primary column for analysis is the sales column. Please, can I talk about the primary key? The primary key When I say primary key, I am talking about the key through which other columns or rows or data depend upon. That is a primary key. Every other thing that is independent, that is not dependent on anything, or that is rather dependent on some other thing, is a secondary key. Happiness said, please can you rephrase from primary and secondary column? What? I don't understand. Primary and okay, I just explained that primary key or secondary column or primary column in this case means, please, you guys should check in the WhatsApp group if that, I mean, talking to the class rep. If there are questions, you can let me know while I look at the ones here. Primary key means this one. Without this key, the data set doesn't make sense. It's not complete. Secondary key depends on the primary key for it to make any meaning. Okay, for instance, let's look at a house, and then let's look at the owner of the house, and then let's look at children. We have three things. We have the house, we have the owner of the house, and then we have the children. Out of these three things, which of them do you think is primary and which of them do you think is secondary? Let me look at the comments, the YouTube here. Which of them is primary and which of them is secondary?
The primary is the owner of the house.
Primary is what?
The owner of the house.
Okay, good. Primary is the owner of the house. Why is it the owner of the house? Tracy, you can't see my screen because I'm not sharing it. The owner of the house because without the house or without the owner of the house doesn't make any meaning and the children will not be there. So the
Yes.
owner is the primary. Yes, Sandra, that's it. The owner is the primary. I hope I've been able to explain primary and secondary to you guys. So in this case, this column, sales, this is the primary key for analysis. And this is the primary key of this entire data set. Meaning, if you want to analyze this data, please concentrate on this column, the sales column. Because without this sales column, you cannot. Meaning, you can choose to portray, you can choose to have a chart showing agent ID and sales ID. You can have a chart showing sales, sorry, agent ID and sales. You can have a chart showing postcode and sales. You can have a chart showing cost price and sales. All right. But it is not going to help your analysis to have agent ID and postcode. Okay. This is your ID. This is your postcode. Okay. So how is it helping the business? Agent ID and cost price. Okay. Really? What am I doing with the cost price? Because this is exactly what I told you to do. You have not sold anything. You are still having the cost price. So we come here, amount. You can click amount. You can have a chart with amount and names. You can have a chart with favorite food and country. But if you want to analyze your data, make sure that this amount column appears on your chart. So somebody asked me how I was able to highlight the two columns. All I needed to do was click on this one, click, drag down. Can you see that? Click, take your cursor to names, click, drag down. Then don't click outside. Simply press your control key on your keyboard and then take your cursor to the next column you want to highlight, and then highlight it. Click and then drag down. That is how you can now have the two columns highlighted. You can now see the first time that we highlighted names and country, it didn't show. But this time around, we've highlighted names and amount, and then it showed. So now, before I run up this class and then give you my assignment, I want you guys to come to the amount column and change it to the amount of the country you are presently resident in. And how do you do that? Highlight, come here, highlight all of this, okay? Go to where you have general. I don't know. If you don't see general, go to where you have this icon, the dollar icon. It is called the accounting number format. If I open this drop down, you are going to see accounting number format here. But I don't want to choose it from here. I want to choose it from this icon. So I'm going to click on the drop down, and you are going to see every icon here. So if you open this more accounting format, you are going to see every currency that exists in the world today. So if you open that more accounting format, you are going to see this dialog box. If you see this dialog box, you are going to make sure it is under accounting, open the symbol, open it here, and then scroll down and look for your symbol, your currency. So if you can scroll down and look for it. So the Naira is here. Edo, full for there. I don't know what that is. Hausa, Ibibio, so Igbo, all of them in Naira, Kanuri, Yoruba. So let me click on Kanuri and click on OK. So you can see it's now in Naira. But again, you need to know that these countries are different, right? So we only have one Naira, which is Nigeria. I'm going to look for, definitely, I want Nigeria to appear in all of them. Let's have one. To have Nigeria appear in all, I'm just going to go to where you have that cross, click on it, drag, and you are going to have field. So everything now is Nigeria. So let's have highlight this column, press your control, come here, highlight the next column, go to insert menu, click on this, click on any of these columns, any of these chart types rather. So I want to click on column and click on OK. So you can see the chart type we have. Let me drag this down, or let me drag this to this side. Are we still together?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right. So we want to edit this thing. I want to make it bigger. For you to make your chart bigger, you can now see we have all of this in Naira. For you to make your chart bigger, please drag this thing from beginning to the end this way. Okay, drag it. Please don't drag by the side. Don't drag by the side. If you want to move it from one place to the other, you wait until you see the star sign. When you see the star sign, it means you can click on the body of the work and drag it anywhere you want. Now we want to do something. We want to click on, we want to rename this chart. What should we call this chart? Names and amounts. So to rename your charts, you would want to click on that and then put names and amounts. Click outside. Now, once you click outside your chart, you will discover that these columns that appear here, which are called chart tools, on my Microsoft Excel, I have design, I have layout, and I have format. So I want to take you through the three of them. For under design, I want to change the color of my chart. So assuming I want to change the color to this one, blue, you can see that, right? Or this, or I want to change it to, okay, this one, or I want to change it to this. So let me just leave it like this. If I go to layout and I want to make sure that I don't want the chart title to appear, so I'm going to come here and click do not display chart title. This is under layout. If you don't have the layout menu, make sure you look for this icon showing you that there is a chart title icon. If I click on none, what do you notice? What
The
do you
amount
notice?
left the table.
Exactly. That is gone. Okay. And if I go back there and I want it to appear, I'm going to say put it above chart. You can now see the amount table is now above chart. I'm going to rename it again as names and amounts. I'm going to click outside and then expect it. So if I want the axis titles, for instance, you don't want all the names to appear, you just title below axis. You can now see that we have an axis title where we can now put names. And if you go to a primary vertical axis, and let's say we want to put our title, vertical title. You can now put the vertical title. We can now put on Control A to highlight everything. We can now put amount. And then this legend, if you don't want it to be there, you go to design, go to layout. Let's go to layout. Look for legend, which is the next thing. Now, this legend we have is showing at the right. This thing you have here is called legend, meaning it is showing you the color and what that color represents. But assuming we don't want to see it, you can come here and say turn off legend. Can you see it has disappeared? Did you see here?
Yes, sir.
Good. Now, the next thing we want to do is we want to go to the next one, which is data labels. If I click on outside end, what do you notice?
We have numbers, the bar, and
Exactly. All the numbers, or the amount is now appearing at the top. So now we no longer have to wait to see all the lines. We don't need to trace all the lines. But assuming you still want to do the tracing, you don't want the data labels to show, click on none. Now, the thing that can help you to do your tracing is what is called grid lines. So you want to improve on your grid lines by making sure that you have your major grid lines, which is what appeared. All of these lines are called major grid lines. Let's assume we want to have our minor grid lines. So we click on minor grid lines, and you can see the small lines are now appearing. Can you see that?
yes, sir.
Yes.
Let me bolden the charts so that we see what I'm doing. All right. So the minor grid lines can now appear. Again, I want to see the lines be in a vertical axis. So I'm going to check the primary vertical grid lines, and I'm going to click on major grid lines. That is it. If I don't want to see the major grid lines, I want to see the minor grid lines, I'm still going to go back to vertical grid lines and click on minor grid lines. Then you can see the minor grid lines.
Yes, sir.
If you want the plot area to show, which is what we did, you can leave it as show plot area. Or if you don't want, you click on none, and every plot area is totally gone. But now it's looking like a basket. I don't love it. So I'm going to click on show plot area because I want this area to be very visible. Now, this thing I'm teaching you, please, I'm not doing it again. Oh, those of you that are missing this class will listen to it anyway. But you are not going to join my next class if you don't do the assignment I'm going to submit. The class is free, but I don't want to teach people that are not grateful and they are not ready to work. And then the last thing I want to do is let's look at trend line. Let's look at trend line. Let's go to the internet because I need to show you guys what trend line is. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So I want to open a new window. And I'm going to type on trend. I'm going trend lines in medicine. All right. Have you guys seen something like this before? Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
All of these are called trend lines. Okay, let's look at artificial intelligence. This particular one. Not showing me what I want to see. Technical analysis. Okay, I guess we'll look at this. Now, when you see this is the downward trend, the downtrend, it's probably for those of you that used to do all these stock markets, forex, and things like that. Um, you would always see is the dollar going up against the pounds or the naira? Is it coming down? So you always have people that can see that. This one says car depreciation. Probably if you buy a car in 2010, and we are in 2023 right now, you discover that the value of that car is actually going to be depreciating over time. True or false?
True, sir.
And if you are asked to plot a trend or to show a graph that is that plots a trend of data usage, your data usage, you can check. For those of you who are using Android or iPhone, you can actually check your data usage trends to know, okay, this particular day I use a particular graph or I use more data than other days. Okay. And then let's look at trend lines during COVID. So you can see that for COVID in some countries, it started small, and before you know it, it was increasing exponentially. And some US stock visit conversions dropped 90% as COVID shut down businesses. Okay. So this actually shows you and I that this particular business was shut down across the US and it dropped from 100%. The trend line moved over to 91%. It moved down to 76 to 54 to 10%. And if you look at this one, you are going to see a trend line in Power BI and a software I was trying to open to you guys. There's something we call forecasting. For instance, I was working on a project for the New York taxi company. I think during COVID, was it during COVID or shortly before COVID? So yeah, I think it was during COVID. They wanted to understand the growth of the business post COVID. So they wanted to use the forecasting tool in Power BI. And my team and I had to come together to analyze that data. I mean, taxis in New York, we had over 100,000 data sets, 800,000 plus data sets that was given to us across board. We had to clean this data. It was a lot. I'm explaining this because this thing you see here is called the forecasting. So if there was a trend from March 01st, can you guys see this screen? Can you see this screen?
Yes.
Okay, for a trend from 01st to April 1st, and it was an upward spiral. It moved to a particular point, and it was from it for an instant, it started moving downwards. And we can actually, using that particular point in time in the history of this data set, we can actually forecast. And this line you see here, this dotted line, is what is called forecasting. So we actually forecasted that, look, there was no money during COVID because nobody was actually using taxis most of the time. Businesses were shut down and things like that. This is another forecasting that you can see here. Okay, all COVID, and this one is amazing. This thing was not done on Canva. Some of you that you want to prove that you can go and design things on Canva, you want to design it. One, no problem. But when it is time for you to show how interactive that design is, you come and call my name. I'm going to deny you. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So this is what is called trend lines. You can see all of this. For you to insert trend lines in your Microsoft Word, or sorry, your Microsoft Excel, this is where you do it. Okay? So I'm going to give you guys 3 assignments. The first one, let me write it down because some of you, I don't want to be teaching people that are not serious. So your assessment to join the next class, number one, create a fictional data set. Ah, number two, Please copy this and drop it in your group. If you don't submit this, please, you may not join the next class on Saturday. Normally, I don't take too many students. I'm beginning to sieve you guys gradually till I get the best. All right. Create a fictional data set. This is what I mean by fictional data set. You can create anything. You can put the names of all your ex-boyfriends here. You can put all the things they did to you that you didn't like. You can put the amount you stole from them. And you can put the country that you died and resurrected in. Those are all fictional data sets. You can put the name of your first wife here or the name of your first car. You can put your worst food. You can put the amount that you want, the amount that can make you happy. You can even use this type of data set, the country, the agent, sales, postcode, or you can put cost price, gross profit. Is a fictional data set. So I want to see how you guys can think about it. I want to see how you can create that fictional data set. This number one question is two in one. Oh, you must show me the fictional data set you created. And after that, I use that fictional data set to create a chart, making sure that that chart shows your primary and secondary keys or columns across board. You can decide to come back here and show us, create a chart with names. Okay, assuming I want to create a chart with favorite food and amount. So I come here, insert a chart. Please, you must not use a column chart. In fact, let me put number 4 question, because some of you want to do one thing. Use another primary and secondary key or columns to create another chart. So that create another chart, it could be in this regard, I want to create a chart of favorite food and amount. And let's say I want to use all chart types. Let's say I want to use let's say I want to use a donut chart. Then I click on OK. Can you see that? Donut chart, click on OK. I'm going to drag this down, drag this here. Then don't forget, you have to rename your chart. What is this? What is it called? It's called food and what? Food and amount. Don't forget to rename your chart. Food and amount. And then I want to come here and edit it, make it look colorful. I want to see how good some of you would be in designs. Okay, I love this one. Make it look colorful. Go to layout. You can change whatever you want to change. Let's say I want to put the data labels. I want it to show. So, okay, it's not looking nice. So I click on none. Chart title, I want it there. Then if you go to format, you can format this. Make sure that you can change the color to red. You can see that, right? Can change it to blue. You can change it. So I need to see how you guys would play with all of this. Can change these colors where you want. Leave it for red. Okay, we already have red there. this color. Okay, this one is not there, so I'm going to leave it there. So you can decide to click on the shape outline. You want it to be yellow, which is the shape of whatever you are doing here. The shape effect, you can choose it to be glowing. You want it to glow this way. You can even change whatever you are doing, right? You can change it, put it this way, put it this way, put it this way. You can do your 3D rotation. So if I want to put it like this, none of them is working, okay? Just make sure you play around this, my people. Make sure you play around these things. I want to see how beautiful you would make your designs to be. So go to format all of those, okay? If you want your text field, don't want any of this. Text outline, say you want to go there, text outline, text effect. We are still going to learn all of this as we proceed. So we are going to end this class today. Next week, or rather on Saturday, we are going to learn how to use visually aiding conditional formatting. Okay, I was talking about trend. Let me show you guys, because I've given an example, an assignment. Let me show you guys how to do trend. So let's go to trend. Let's click on the first one here, on the first chart. Go to layout. You see trend, right? I want you guys to read all of this. Now, if you don't understand anything on Microsoft Excel and you want a theoretical explanation to it, something I can offer, go to where you have the equals to sign, or what is it called? The question mark. That is called the help. Yeah, the help function in Microsoft Excel. If I click on it, you can click on that or just press F1 on your keyboard, and this is going to come up. So you can come up here and type trends. All right, so you can see everything that Excel can help you with. All the things that we are going to be talking about. Don't forget, this is not a master's program in Microsoft Excel, so I'm not going to be defining things for you. You can always come here and click whatever you want to get started with Excel. You want to know what conditional formatting, you want to prepare ahead of the class, you can come here and read this article, because that is what we are going to be treating in the next class. You can come here and read this article and just try to find out what conditional formatting is. Unfortunately, this is just basic Excel that is here. I'm going to take you guys into basic conditional formatting and then advanced conditional formatting. So for you to understand basic things about Excel, you want a theoretical explanation to it, please always come to your Microsoft Office help or Microsoft Excel help F1, okay? But for trend lines, you can go online, search for this. We want to look at the linear trend line, and that line is going to appear. You can edit the line by formatting it. You can choose any of these colors. Just click on the line, choose any of these colors, and then I click on black because that is how I want it to be. Go back to layout and change it to exponential trend line, and you're going to have this, okay, telling you the trend. Sandra Dangote seems to have the highest amount that any human being can ever spend on money. And the lowest person is Neka because she's affiliated to Tinubu, and because of that, she has the lowest amount in terms of food. To Sandra Dangote, of course, she's the daughter of Dangote. Blessing Atiku, had 600, followed by Abiodun Adetayo. So this is the highest, followed by this one, followed by this one. That is why this trend is actually covering the very first person here, followed by the second, and then the third. Do you guys see how this thing works?
Yes.
Good. So if you want to show your client an exponential trend line, this is how you do it. Okay. So we want to see a linear forecast trend line. This is what it means. A linear forecast. Therefore, this is a forecast. It means if there is another name that is coming up here, the person will definitely not be so above this particular one. It would be within this range. You can see that if I want to have a linear forecast that shows up to maybe 10 names, and so it's going to go right above it. And you cannot do these things by just dragging, going to insert, go to insert, under insert, you click on shape, and then you see lines. You can't click on lines, and then when you come here, you now drag your line. You can't do this manually because you are going to fail woefully. If you take this thing to any client and the person sees it, the person who understands trend lines, the person who say that you are actually going to destroy his or her or their business because you did not automate your trend lines. So you must make sure you use the trend line that have been provided by Excel. You can go use your 2-period moving average, and that one is going to show you. Again, it's going to focus on the three tallest values there. And then you can also open your more trend line options. You are going to see a couple of other trend lines. The ones we opened now was called the linear trend lines. We can open the exponential trend lines. Okay, let me push this to the other end so you can see. You can see this is an exponential trend lines. You can open the logarithmic trend lines. Logarithmic trend lines. You can open you can see the changes on the screen, right? You can open the polynomial trend lines. You can open the power trend lines. You can open the moving average trend lines. And you can even decipher for yourself what could be the periods. In this case, I want to see just 3 periods, and it's showing period 1, period 2, and this is period 3. If you want to change the line color, you can come here and put you don't want any color. If you want a solid color, you can put all of that. You can change the color here. You can put red. You can see that. The line style, let's say you want this to be bigger. You can compound type, you want this one. Cap type, you want it square. You can play around this. I want to see what you guys can do when you submit every of these things. So I'm going to end the class here because we are above time. Thank you so much for your patience, people, and thanks for joining in today's class. Don't forget, you would only join the next class if you submit your assessment. And if you don't submit, if nobody submits your assessment, then today will be the last class I'll be having with all of you. And because I don't invest in what is not meaningful. That's just me. I have wasted, not waste anyway, because somebody here have learned something. But just to be sure, if you have learned anything today, the next time that we are going to be meeting, we are going to be looking at basic Excel functions, all the formulas that you have been hearing of, quite basic. We are going to be looking at them before we move over to developer, for instance. Like if I want to open these macros, you are going to see some codes, Visual Basic Editor. You can see this is a part of Excel that some of you are not aware of. These are all codes, and we are going to be teaching you. This will be towards the end of your class. These are the things that we have treated. I think in the past I had this macros workbook I opened just at some point in time. So we're going to be teaching and learning all of this going forward. So please, if you learned anything today, um, as I close, please type that you learned something so that I know. I beg you. Let me check. If you learned anything, please just say you learned something. About the recording, I'm going to share this recording with you guys in the group. But please, if you can start doing this thing today.
Thank you so much for the call.
The assignment, how are we to submit it? I don't really.
Where are we
Follow,
submitting?
you submit it in the group. Please
Okay, sir.
drop the
The
What?
individual group.
screen. Yes, your individual group. I'm going to drop our Discord group so that all of you can join.
Okay,
Um,
sir.
and then I'm going to drop a link. Let me do that now. Please, if you have a question, drop it now. And then class rep, please call out the questions so that I can answer them.
Okay,
Question,
sir.
please, for 5 or 10 minutes, I'll respond to question. Thank you so much, everyone. I can see your gratitude. I'm so happy. Thank
Thank you,
you.
sir. We are so grateful.
Let me go and make my money. Oh. I have lost some just being here. All right, Coca. So she learned many things. Thanks so much. If there's any question, let me know. All right, I guess there's no question. So thanks so much, guys. See you on Saturday by 2 p.m.
Yes,
So
sir.
we may continue using this YouTube because I don't want coming to Microsoft Teams and somebody's muting me. People are muting themselves and making a noise. I think this one was fine. Was it?
Yes, sir.
Was the YouTube okay? I mean, there was
Yes,
no distraction, right?
yeah, yes, unlike the things.
Okay, those of you that are still online, was the YouTube okay? Should we continue using it to avoid the distraction and wasting so much time? I can't use Google Meet because I may not be able to record it. And I can't use Zoom as well because we use it. Some of our students in the health Techies, the ones learning data analysis, they use our Zoom, and our trainers, we have over 10 or so trainers. They use our Zoom and Microsoft Teams. So this is a free class. You guys didn't pay anything to be here. So that's why I think we should continue with YouTube to avoid the distractions. Okay, my voice was low. I'll try to increase it, but please use a headphone. Please use a headphone. Someone is asking where is the deadline for submission. Deadline for submission is latest Thursday, so that on Friday I'm going to ask the virtual assistant to add the people that have submitted to the new group. Yeah, try to submit it before the next class. That is All right, the YouTube. You say the YouTube. Yeah, this was just fine. That's nice. So let's continue with YouTube, please. I think I'm okay with using YouTube as well. I just explained why we can't use Zoom blessing. All right, so I'm going to end this. We have spent 2 hours, 19 minutes, and 20 seconds here, and we spent over 40 minutes on 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 Teams. So roughly, we've spent over 3 hours, and I appreciate your time. Okay, bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.